Most people let their past define their future. But the people who actually win in life and business, they think the opposite way. I'm going to share with you a really awesome book today on how you could flip the script. And before we dive in, if you're serious about mindset, performance, and building a future you actually love, subscribe to this channel. I appreciate your support and it helps the channel grow. And if you're an entrepreneur or high performer who wants to apply this at a deeper level, apply below to join the Mood Method Mastermind. Now, the book is called Be Your Future Self Now by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. The core idea is simple, but it's also uncomfortable. Your future self should be the one making your decisions, not your past self. So most people do. Most people make decisions from their past experiences, beliefs, and projections into the future. Now, a perfect modern example of this that is a huge example, but it's a great example, is Mr. Beast. I don't know if you watch his videos. Me and my fiance, we like to watch him once in a while. He's really funny and he's great. And he recently did a time capsule video. Well, not recently. He recently released it. I think it was a 10-year time capsule video. So 10 years ago, he recorded a message to his future self. And he locked it away. You could schedule videos on YouTube. He scheduled it in 10 years into the future. And he committed to a future identity. Now, most people watch it as entertainment. But if you really understand Hardy's work, you realize that that video is a future self-alignment ritual. What Mr. Beast did was, it was really funny. You should watch it. Just type in YouTube, Mr. Beast 10-year video or time capsule video. But basically he says to YouTube and his fans, which at that point he was like, maybe had a few thousand followers. Now he's got, I think, over a few 100 million followers. He's like, man, in 10 years, his dream was to always be a YouTube star and make money on YouTube. He's like, in 10 years, if I don't have 2 million followers, I'm going to kill myself. He jokingly says it, but it just shows how badly he wanted it. And lo and behold, he's got over 200 million followers, probably more than that now. It's insane. So the idea is the future self time capsule video, or just a time capsule, it doesn't have to be a video, and you don't have to share it with everybody on YouTube also. You could just keep it for yourself. I have time capsule videos of myself just for me to keep in the future and to review. Now, it's a public statement to who you're becoming and not who you've been, which is a really, really powerful concept if you think about it and you let that settle in and you start operating that way as well. Because most people, they're unconsciously loyal to their past identity. They make decisions based on old failures, old limitations, old emotional patterns, old relationships. Now, Benjamin Hardy's point in the book is clear. If your past self keeps voting for your future self, it's going to keep paying. I'm going to say that again. If your past self keeps voting, which is basically making decisions, operating in a certain way, using certain habits, which are all votes for your future self is going to keep paying. A simple way of thinking that is, if your past self is out of shape and doesn't take care of your body, and you keep having those bad habits of not going to the gym and eating bad food and sleeping late and drinking alcohol and all that stuff, guess who's going to pay for it? Your future self. Very simple concept. Same applies in your financial situation, same in your business, same in your relationship. Now, one of the most powerful concepts in this book is this: identity collapses time. Identity collapses time. When you clearly define who you're becoming, decisions get easier. You stop negotiating with yourself, which is super powerful. So do that. You want to operate from your future identity, not your past identity. Instead of asking, what do I feel like doing right now? You ask a question like this: what would my future self thank me for? Write that down, keep it on a piece of paper in front of your computer or on your desk or in your pocket. What would my future self thank me for? That single question cuts through all the emotional noise. You shift out of scarcity, out of like fear, out of doubt, into, hey, what does my future self want? And Hardy emphasizes this truth in the book. Willpower fades while environment decides. Your future self isn't built by motivation. It's built by designed constraints and standards, which is why your environment that you create is super important. And that means obviously physical, your office, your home, your studio, where you work, where you live, and who you hang out with. Proximity is power, the people you surround yourself with. Now, here's why most people don't follow through. Under stress, they default to their old emotional patterns. Without emotional regulation, their future self-thinking collapses, which is why this concept sounds so simple, but it's harder in practice. And that's exactly what we train inside the Mood Method Mastermind. Future self-identity, nervous system regulation, emotional mastery. So you can make decisions, better decisions under pressure from your future self, not your past self. So alignment isn't temporary, it becomes automatic. And this changes everything. If you can imagine, the decisions you make in every area of your life will massively transform. Now, here's a simple exercise inspired by the book and the Mr. Beast video that I urge you to do. Record a private time capsule message to yourself. State who you're becoming. State who you refuse to tolerate, what you refuse to tolerate from yourself, and also what standards are non-negotiable. And then ask before big decisions this week and going forward, but start with this week, is this a vote for my future self or my past? Is this a vote for my future self or my past? Do that exercise. It'll take you literally 5 minutes and it'll change your life. So your future self isn't waiting for someday, my friends. They're available now. If you're willing to stop letting the past drive. Collapse that time. Operate from your future self. Watch your life transform in your business, in your health, in your relationships, in your finances. So if this video resonated, subscribe to the channel. It helps it grow. I appreciate your support. And also share it with someone who needs to see this video. And then you get the gift of being the messenger and sharing them valuable concepts to change their life. And if you want to install this way of thinking emotionally, mentally, and operationally in your business, in your life, apply to join the Mood Method Mastermind. It's where we have a community of founders and entrepreneurs that think in these ways to regulate their nervous system and operate from their future self. The link's down below. I look forward to talking to you, and I'll see you in the next video.